everybody, and welcome to Paranormal Nation Radio. Not so normal. How's Denise and Ron doing tonight?
Doing good. Sunny Florida.
Right.
Hey, Nigel.
And there's Nigel, right on time every time, every week.
Thank you, Nigel.
Thank you, Nigel. We just love having you on here.
I want to know where Nigel gets his stalking skills from.
I don't know.
Because we need people like that right on it every week.
I mean, right on as soon as it starts and everything.
Every week.
I mean,
first one.
He shares it on his group page. Nigel, has Nigel ever told us what his group page is?
No.
What is your group page, Nigel? He's always said he shares it on the group page, and I've always wondered what group page.
Yeah, please.
Nigel's from England, in case anyone's wondering.
Right.
People
ghostly hunt lives.
Oh.
Wow. I'll have to check that out and everything after the show. Get that on there. So, but anyway, we've got a guest tonight. Denise brought a guest on here that really neither one of us know that much about.
Nope. Basically, long story short, is my neighbor here in Florida shared. Hey, George, it's been a long time since I've seen you.
Hey, George.
I'm in California.
Oh, yeah. Been a long time, because I had him on. He was my last show, him and his wife on Paranormal King radio.
Oh, wow.
That's right. He was. That's where I know that name from.
Yeah, as I said, the name looks familiar.
But yeah, my neighbor mentioned that where she grew up, and she said, there's a medium that grew up in our town, and she sent me a link, and she said, this is her. And I asked Jonna if she would like to be on, and here she is. So I want to know more, and I figured this was a good way to do that. So I'd like to welcome Jonna Kay to the show.
Hi, Jonna.
Yes.
So during the pre-show, while we were talking, Jonna filled us in on some stuff. She is a medium. She lives in Illinois, and she does readings and stuff. And she actually travels here to Florida and does readings when she goes on trips down here. So I'm going to let her tell us more about what she does. And
a little bit more about Jonna.
So the first thing I want to ask you is, how did you know that you were a medium?
So I was actually just talking. I just finished a reading with a girl, and it was so weird because when I was doing a reading for her, she was talking about how she gets headaches and she's so tired because she's picking up energy from people. And I said, girl, when I was a hairdresser, that used to happen to me. And she goes, I'm a hairdresser. And so we got going with the conversation. And at the end, we were talking, and I said, well, where do you live? And she told me, and I said, oh, I used to do hair in that town. And she says, really, where? And I told her, and she goes, I did hair there.
Wow.
I know. How weird is that? So I honestly believe that I did hair I went to beauty school in 1982, which today is my 59th birthday. I am not ashamed to tell you I'm 59.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I wouldn't have guessed 59.
No.
Really?
No.
I'm 58.
No
That's
way.
probably why he wouldn't have guessed 59.
And I'm older than all of you. So, yeah, we'll just stick with the 59 part.
I went to my daughter's bridal shower, and somebody snapped a picture of me, and I swear to God, I looked like Granny from the Beverly Hillbillies the other day. I looked so bad. But anyway, I don't know what was going on, but I was like, I don't ever want to freaking look that way again. But my hair was pulled back. I didn't have makeup on. I was channeling Granny. But anyway, I honestly believe that there is something about shampooing people and the water and picking up energy through their crown chakra. I really, really feel that. But I did have a loss at age 30 that rocked my world and put me through a dark time. And sometimes people go through a dark time and come out with a spiritual awakening. And
Yep.
I don't know if you've ever talked to anybody who's had that happen,
Oh yeah.
but that I don't know how to explain it, but there is some weird things that happen once you come out of a really dark time and you can't explain it. And at that time, I owned a boutique and I just started picking stuff up off people who were coming in to buy things and just do it. And I had always read tarot cards. And so I was just doing tarot card readings and I just started being able to pick up mediumship on people and having fun with that. Next thing I know, people were coming in just for mediumship. And that was, God, my daughter, that had to be in the 2000s, early 2000s. So I've done over 20,000 readings.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And did you always charge for the readings, or is that relative?
Not for the first year or so.
Okay.
For the first year or so, it was like totally free. And then it got overwhelming. Oh, thank you, George. Thank you.
Carl
He's got a
beat me to
question
it.
there.
So the question is I seem to ask the same question, but when you tell someone that thinks they are a medium but afraid to speak up, it seems there are competitions everywhere, but you can come across to help others more than some.
So, okay, so here's the deal. 25 years ago or 22 years ago, there wasn't competition.
No.
And I was doing parties every Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. I accidentally read for a DJ that came into my boutique and put me on the radio.
That's what happened to Cheryl Ann.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I have never thought of anybody as competition anyway. First of all, if somebody wants to compete with me, I'll bring them over and put them on a Facebook Live with me.
Yeah.
She sounds a little like Cheryl Ann.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that
a friend of ours.
I don't think that people understand is some mediums aren't meant for every person.
100%. We're not going to jive with everybody.
Right.
And if I don't jive with you, I probably have a friend who will.
Yeah. That's
And
me. I can find somebody that
okay.
I find somebody who fits every little hole for that.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to be friends with everybody, just like every medium isn't going to jive with everybody.
Right.
Right.
And that is totally fine. So, I mean, I have enough business. I'm busy. This is my full-time gig. So I am doing shows all the time. I'm doing parties. I do appointments every day. And honestly, I honestly have different styles, and I have friends who have different styles, and it's okay.
Yep.
It's totally okay. I don't look at it as competition. I look at it as we're just all different.
Yeah, it's variety. And, you know, I mean, I've told people this all the time. I can match the medium that somebody needs with what that person actually needs. You know, some people need to hear, they need somebody who's blunt. Some people
need to be coddled.
And some people need to be coddled, or they need to hear it in their own language. So it has to be somebody similar to them. And, you know, sometimes that's hard to do. But I tend to have the tendency to be able to read what a person needs, not what they want, but what they need.
100%. I tend to have a little more of a foul mouth. I tend to have a little bit more humor, but I'm not going to tell you, like some people are like, can you tell me when I'm going to die? No, that's not my business. Like, that's not your business. Like, that's not what we're here to do.
No.
So,
and do you really want to know your expiration date?
Heck no.
No, because you're
No.
not going to live then.
Right. It's just silliness. That's not the spiritual part of our job.
Right.
So, and if you're coming to me to find out if your husband's cheating, that's also not the spiritual part of our job.
Uh-oh.
I kind of feel like if you
Uh-oh.
feel like your husband's cheating, you need to follow
Yeah,
your
you
own
probably need-
intuition on that. He probably is cheating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go with your gut on some things.
Probably need to get with a detective or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, we're never apart from each other, so if he's cheating, he's
Never.
doing a damn good job.
Well, I kind of always feel that if you have that whole philosophy, is my husband cheating, you're probably going to manifest that.
Yeah.
You're going to push him into it.
Yeah, because if he's going to be accused anyway, he might as well go do it.
That's true.
If you're always thinking of that, you're going to manifest it.
So we've been married for 40 years, so it's not
Nah, not yet.
almost 40, okay? We're
Not yet. I like that comment.
Yeah.
May 26th, we'll be married 40 years.
Today is my mom and dad's anniversary.
64th.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. That still it's their anniversary, even though Ron's dad's not here.
Right.
It's still an anniversary. It's a huge one.
Right.
This is usually our first day of school.
Yeah.
Back then, anyway.
Right. The day after Labor Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't get that. I mean, now school starts on August 10th or whatever anymore. And
it depends on what region you live in.
oh, I know. Here in Florida, it was August 10th. In Eastern Kentucky, August 10th. In Kansas City, it was
That's
the following
17.
week.
Yeah.
That's the second or third Thursday of August. So it just depends. It's just, I remember we went back on day after Labor Day and we were out around Memorial Day. It's not like that anymore.
Right.
So,
Like we did. We started the week before Labor Day.
Hey, Renee.
So that come that following weekend, you had a 3-day vacation.
Yes, that's how we always started too, because we didn't have air conditioning in our schools.
Nuh-uh.
No.
Neither.
Right.
Had
you hear
windows with
today-
fans.
Did
Yep.
you hear today that Philadelphia had to shorten their school days because they don't have air conditioning in most of their schools? I went to school in Baltimore. So we didn't have air conditioning in any of the schools I went to until they built new schools, when they built them in the early 80s.
High school.
So I didn't get it until I was quitting high school. We got air conditioning. And, all of our schools were coal heated back then. I know.
Yep. Ours
5
was.
miles uphill both ways to school and everything.
Yep. In the snow. All that good stuff.
Yep. Snowed from Labor Day to Memorial Day.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we didn't even have fans. I don't remember fans in schools.
No.
Right. It was different, but it's different now and it's fine. For a while they were doing school year round, I think, at one point.
Oh, wow. They tried. Yeah.
Yeah, they tried doing that for a couple of years around here.
Yeah.
It don't work.
I don't know. I don't think that's a terrible idea.
That's not
Well,
too
if
bad.
they do it like 2 months go to school and a month off, 2 months go to school, month off, that's hard
Yeah.
on the kids. Just imagine they're off all summer, how they are when they start school back up. They got to spend 2 weeks catching up on what they
Right.
did. So,
Right. They
Yeah.
actually thought to do it year round. I think they did have a month off or they gave them 1 month off in the summer, but that there was none of that catching back up. None of that. I don't know. I don't have kids anymore in school. So
we're
none of
live
that
in Scotland.
Scotland, yep.
Is that
Scotland, Scotland, England, Japan.
one of the things I always said is, I don't have kids going to school anymore, so I don't have a dog in that fight anymore.
No.
But I care, because I got grandkids that are going to school. And, so it makes you wonder. But speaking of school, were you the weird kid?
Well, I was.
Sorry, I was the weird kid.
Unathletic kid. And then in high school, I was like the smoking in the ditch kid. Like, so yeah, I mean, probably I was the weird kid. It was the 70s. Weren't we all weird kids in the 70s?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I was the weird kid for something that was strange. It was because I could see spirits and stuff.
Oh,
But
no,
that-
I
but that
wasn't
wasn't-
doing any of that, probably. I mean, I was always interested in it. And you know what's weird is I was a big reader. I loved books. And I read voraciously, and I still read a lot. And I realized that I read weird stuff. And recently I went on a deep dive because there was a book that haunted me, and it was about astral travel. And I read it in junior high school. And I was trying to find the name of that book, and I couldn't find it. And I went on this deep dive to find it. And the author was Lois Duncan, who wrote I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
wow.
Mm-hmm. So that's the kind of weird stuff I read in junior high.
So for me, I was the weird kid because my father was murdered. And it was on the news, and he was murdered by his own father. So the news station, every time there would be a trial that came
That
up,
just made my ears buzz.
they would show up at my school because they knew that my mom or some family member would be there. And so I was followed
Well, that
around.
made my vocal cords do some weird things, and it made my ears buzz.
It doesn't shock me because, I mean, it's strange when you hear stuff like that, but it is what it is. But, back in 1975, I mean, think about, we know how old you are because we're the same age. Just think back to being 10 years old and being news cameras following you around, or people seeing a news article and going, this little girl, her dad was killed, so either they were really nice to us, or later on after a while, it was jealousy because I had a young mom. My mom was only 25 to 29, going to school with us to drop us off or whatever. And she was young and single. And so here's a bunch of these girls with no dad.
Night,
My
Nigel.
mom had to be a bad person, and people didn't want to know the story. So, like I said, we were the weird people, and I got used to it. But yeah, I never told people after 1975 that I saw stuff because I was already the weird kid. But didn't find out till you were an adult that
I just thought astral travel was normal. So to me, astral travel dreaming was normal.
And there wasn't hardly any books about that.
No,
No, there was
Why I
nothing
said I
about
went on
it
a
back
deep
then.
dive to find that book.
No kidding.
Because it was the only book I ever read about that.
And you thought that was normal?
Yes.
it was normal for me.
Was it?
That was
Yeah.
normal for Denise.
It was. And
I've never had the
there's-
experience, so I don't know.
Here's Amy. She's the one that told me about you.
Oh,
Hey,
hi,
Amy.
Amy.
Hey, Amy.
So yeah, I mean, when I was 4, I did that. I traveled from New Jersey to Baltimore, saw my grandmother be killed. When my dad was murdered, it was only across town, but I was 10. How do you get from 17 miles away to tell everybody? You get up in the morning and you go, "Hey, Dad's dead," and tell them how it happened and have somebody confirm everything that you said was true. How do you do that? And that's when my mom said, "Don't tell people, because if you tell people, they're going to lock you up." It said 1975. You don't say that you see spirits. You don't go to Gettysburg and say, "Oh, look at all the kids," and the other kids are going, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Right.
Just didn't do that. And I don't know how many people really understand that you couldn't do it back then. Now, if you do it, yeah, they might look at you a little strange, but they go, oh, this is normal, and keep on going, you know.
I had one weird experience that I remember vividly, and I was like 5 years old, and this is such a weird little thing that I can't explain, but I remember watching my sister and my mom wrap my birthday present, and I woke up and I went out in the kitchen, and it was on the table where I saw them wrap it, and it was exactly what I saw in my dream.
Huh.
So I was like literally traveling in my sleep.
Right. So
Mhm.
you had some events happen before.
Very
You said
minor.
about
Like,
little stuff, and when you said you were 30 years old, then you had a major event happen,
An awakening.
and that just completely changed everything.
but my mom was crazy psychic, but really dark,
Oh,
negative. Like she was like, so she would like turn the radio on and be like, I wonder who died today. And it would be like somebody I went to school with got in a car accident the night before.
oh wow.
Oh.
Yeah. And she was really depressed a lot and kind of like would sleep a lot and just angry and just dark. I don't know how to explain it.
Huh.
But she always would do that and be like, I wonder who died today. And then somebody would die.
Wow.
Yes.
That's sad. That makes it sound again like she was having foreshadowing or something like that. What's the difference between astral projection and lucid dreaming?
Well, I think that lucid dreaming is when you are actual dreaming and you can control your dream. But astral projection is when you're in another realm.
Okay, so you may have a lucid dream that is future, telling you something about the future, but it may not.
No, a lucid dream is just when you are just enjoying yourself in a dream and you're like, oh, I think I want to go here now.
Hmm.
And you're just having fun. You're like just having a story in your dream. And you're like, well, I think I just want to go over there and do this. And I think I want to see my friend over here. And you can kind of like just make yourself do what you want in a dream. But in an astral projection, your soul leaves your body and you are in another realm.
Is it possible during astral projection that you would experience possibly sleep paralysis?
Oh, yeah. So when you're trying to get back in your body, that's when you have sleep paralysis. And a lot of times people say that when they have sleep paralysis, they actually see a spirit standing over the top of them, or they see a spirit standing next to them. And usually the reason for sleep paralysis is because that spirit uses your body to get in this realm first. And that's why you have sleep paralysis, is because you can't get in your body because the spirit has used your body to get in this realm. That's when people say they experience more paranormal activity in their home right after a bout of sleep paralysis.
Why is that?
Because a spirit just used your body to get here from another realm.
Yeah. See, sometimes I have to ask the obvious dumb question because somebody's going to have it somewhere, and it just keeps them from asking it, and I just ask it for them.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's crazy, and it sounds like it's like from a movie. But if you've experienced it, you're like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. Because literally when it happens, you can say, God bless you, I put you in God's white light. You can ask Archangel Michael to dissolve it, and you can get your breath right away. Mm-hmm. But if you're just laying there watching that thing stand over you, you can't get your breath.
So you have to be active I mean, mindfully active during that. Otherwise, it could be curtains.
It just feels like it takes forever to get your breath.
I know that feeling. It's a hard thing to explain when you can't breathe. I mean, I had a health issue, but I understand what you're talking about.
Most people who have a lot of sleep paralysis have weird health issues that doctors can't explain.
Da, da, da.
She's got a lot of doctors that can't figure her out.
And I just don't stress out about it. You had said prior to the show that when you travel, you do groups and stuff like that, and you do them there, parties and all that. How often do you do a group event?
Oh my gosh. So I book group events a couple times a month usually. So it just depends. Now right now we're working towards Halloween. So I'm going to be super busy.
Oh yeah.
I'm probably going to do 7 or 8 shows in the month of October. But normally I do, I don't know, 3 shows a month on a typical month. But I do a show called Comedium, and this is super fun. So I work with a comedian, and he's a friend of my son's. He's my son's age. He was actually one of my Cub Scouts when I was a den mother. I know, it sounds crazy, but he's such a talented comedian. And during pandemic, I talked to him about when we came out of pandemic to work with me on doing these shows, and he was willing to do it. And so our first show was in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and we sold out. So what I normally do is I get on stage and I pull people out of the audience and I give messages from the other side. And that I've been doing that for years. But then afterwards he gets up and he does a comedy set. So we call it Comedium.
Okay, so does he do it like he's a medium?
No. He just gets up and lightens up the mood afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. And he just gets up and has a ball and makes everybody laugh for 25 minutes after I do 90 minutes of giving messages from the other side.
Well, that's a nice way to go.
Right.
That's a nice way to do it.
It's so much fun.
Well, everybody feels like they got something out of it in the end.
Oh, totally. Totally. And we have so much fun. But a lot of times I just go out and do my shows where I'm alone and I just give messages from the other side too. So, and then I also do smaller groups where I buy dinner and sit at a table and just do 12 readings and buy everybody food. And it's very intimate and quiet, and I just feed them and read them.
Feed them and read them.
Something similar.
Yeah, we used to do events. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Sally House in Atchison, Kansas, but we were the tour guides for Atchison, Kansas. And we would do, what was it called? Haunted Hop.
Yep, Haunted Hop.
So we would go on the trolley tour, and we would just stop at a restaurant and have dinner.
Yep.
And then we would go to 2 different locations and do mini investigations while also giving them the tour of the town, telling them where everything that is reported to be haunted is haunted and how. And
yeah, it was fun.
And we also had dinner and a ghost hunt at the Pepper Mill or the River House there. And there was another one we had.
The walking tour, the grave tour.
Dinner with a medium.
Yep.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And then there was another one with about a psych. We had something with psychic. But yeah, we did that for 7 years, and they had asked me if I wanted to do the medium stuff.
I spent a week in Kansas about 15 years ago, and I couldn't make a dime.
Where at in Kansas?
Wichita.
Oh.
They were all freaking scared of me. They acted like I was like there to
You went
put a
north
spell on
about
them.
2.5 hours
Yeah.
You could have made a fortune up in Atchison.
Atchison, Leavenworth,
They're
Lansing.
haunted locations that
Oh,
everybody
And
yeah.
they
accepts.
all wanted to pray for me.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
They
And,
just looked at you and said, "She's going to hell in a handbasket. We're gonna go this
oh
way."
my Lord. It was like I was there to do some job training for another job, and they acted like I was like, and I was in another place outside of Nashville, and I couldn't have made a damn dime. But then I went to Kentucky out by Owensboro and made a ton of money.
Yeah, it just depends on where you are in Kentucky.
Yeah.
If you went to Eastern Kentucky,
Oh, I don't think I could have made a dime in Eastern
well,
Kentucky.
actually, it's hit or miss. It depends on where you go in Eastern Kentucky.
Mhm.
So, and I can tell you where to go. But Kentucky is like 4 different states in one.
Right. I
So-
get that. Yeah. I was in Western Kentucky, like the very western part.
Yeah.
There,
Mhm.
like I said, that just depends on who you know and where you're at. But yeah, I think you'd probably done fine in like Pikeville, Kentucky. But that's because
And
they're
then
weird.
I did really well in Minnesota. I do really well out there. So Woodbury in that area. So you just never know.
You don't, and that's one of those things that until you feel it out, you just don't know.
But I always do well in Florida. Like,
Well, this is a huge melting pot. Like I was saying earlier, we've
Oh,
got
yeah.
people from Hawaii living in our neighborhood, Alaska,
Minnesota.
us,
but
we're-
Alabama, not so much.
we do actually. Alabama's not. You don't do very good in Alabama.
Mm-mm.
Try Fairhope.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's right by Foley.
Yeah,
It's not far from
it's
there.
right there on the coast, right there on Mobile Bay, and it's a
Daphne.
arty community.
RT.
Yeah, artsy fartsy or whatever.
Interesting.
Lots of different people there. It reminds me of shoot, like a mini what is that town in Kansas? Suddenly I went Lawrence. Reminds me of Lawrence, Kansas.
Oh, sure. Hippie-ish.
So,
But
yeah,
like they were saying up
that's
there in
perfect.
Atchison, they were the tour guides. I helped them up there for a year. On a Saturday, when we did the tours up there in the house, it was nothing in 4 hours to run 200 to 300 people through the tour.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That was nothing. I mean, yeah, it did
One
it
of the
several times.
that I like to do is like rent an Airbnb and do the thing where I'll do like a meal and sell tickets and do the intimate group readings wherever I'm staying.
Yeah.
And
Right.
yeah, and charge like $125 a person, and everybody gets a reading and like charcuterie and wine. And that's always nice to do like twice a week while I'm staying somewhere.
Well, yeah, it covers all your expenses and you can write it off.
100%. Yes.
But yeah, if you wanted to do something in, say, Atchison, let me know. I will tell you who to contact. There is a lovely house up there that you can rent
Oh, yeah.
to do paranormal investigations. The
I don't do paranormal investigations.
right, but the house
You
is
said you
haunted
don't?
and it helps.
Oh, I was going to ask you if you did.
Yeah.
No, I do not.
Okay.
Why?
That was my next question.
Yeah, I was trying to get it in, but
Yeah, I don't do anything involved in paranormal. And I stopped doing that because when I was doing that, I was having too many issues with astral travel, sleep paralysis. I couldn't protect myself enough to continue my business with doing readings, with doing parties, with doing groups. I couldn't keep myself protected enough. So and my
getting
business
bombed
is
with
what
spirits.
feeds my kids. It's what pays my bills. So I literally had to put a boundary down.
Yep.
And I had to work only within the spiritual and put the paranormal away.
So you were getting attachments, is what you're saying.
I mean, I just felt that I was opening a door that didn't need to be opened if I wanted to continue to work in my business.
Perfect. And Renee, we do not have a topic tonight, so if you have any questions you'd like to ask, please ask questions and we will ask them. Basically, we're just tag teaming, interviewing Jonna so that she can get more word out about what she does. And
she may be coming to your area sometime.
You never know.
She's a traveler.
What I learned from my spirit guides was discernment. And I remember waking up with that word one night, discernment. And I felt like I needed to discern the difference. I needed to know the difference. And because I was going to like the Ohio prison, and I was doing like working with investigators and doing things, but it wasn't good. And remember, I told you my mom was really dark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I woke up with I grew up with all that dark energy, and that is not what I wanted to be. And I didn't want to have depression. I didn't want to be sick. I didn't want to be on the dark side. And I wanted to have energy. And I knew that if I stayed in the spiritual umbrella and put the paranormal umbrella down, I had energy and I was healthy. Okay. If I played under that paranormal umbrella, I felt sick, I was tired, and I felt depressed. And discernment was the word I woke up with. I just knew I could live a happy life and be spiritual, but I had to discern the difference.
Now, after you do all these readings, how worn out are you?
Not at all. I have to ground, I have to open up, and I have to close down.
So Renee has a good point here. It says, so you were almost under control of a generational curse. Maybe because of your mom being under the dark, you decided to go for the light to break that curse?
I don't know that I would consider it that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would say that.
Yeah. Well, with your enlightening or your awakening when you were 30, it's quite possible that there was there was a catalyst in there somewhere that made you go, we're turning this off and we're going with this.
I know my mother died angry at me because I was not in that dark place with her.
I don't think any mother would want their child to be in a dark place.
Oh, no. She was angry with me when I quit smoking cigarettes.
Well, good for you.
I mean, she really was pissed off when I put a cigarette out and said I was done. And she took my carton because I'm like, if you want that carton of cigarettes, you can have them. And she goes, I'll hold on to them for you, but you're going to start again.
So she is trying to foreshadow something negative for you.
Oh, my God. And she died of cancer. Gallbladder cancer. Gallbladder is where anger lives.
Oh, that's why I'm not upset. I don't have one.
I mean, literally was pissed off at me the rest of her life because I quit smoking and she didn't.
Yeah.
Renee, that's horrible. Renee says, I believe my mom was terribly jealous of her.
So here's the thing is I really learned a lot about borderline personality mothers. And I don't know that I believe in jealousy so much, but I sure learned a lot about borderline personality issues. And maybe jealousy is in there, but I just believe that they can't be happy for you. I just believe they can't be happy for you. They just can't. They don't want to.
Maybe
Yeah,
they
that's-
just can't be happy for
that's hard.
anyone.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, as a parent, that's you want your kids to be happy. That's your
Right.
main goal.
Live for that 100%.
Right.
But if you have a diagnosis or a problem internally, then you can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
So how do you do your readings? Does your spirit guide tell you? Is that
well, so here's what I believe. So I ground, I open up, and I tune into the other side. But my spirit guide filters the information from the person's, say, dead relative
right?
in ways that I would comprehend it.
Okay.
So I get a lot of 1970s music, commercials, and
You get
TV
music,
shows
like a
stuff.
video.
I grew up with, I Dream a Genie and Bewitched and all those dumb
Yeah.
shows, Gilligan's Island. So I will literally hear a piece of that to give me a name, I get a lot of names. I am really good with names, and a lot of mediums are not,
Mm-hmm.
but that's why.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because all the mediums we've worked with, and I asked them. They said sometimes they'll see like it's like a video, or they get like music or different words, and they got to piece it together.
Sometimes it is a puzzle. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had a medium. She didn't know me from nothing. Denise had been talking to her for a while, but first time she met me, she says, "Yeah, Denise, you got a lot of spirits around you," but she really wasn't. She wasn't that concerned with hers.
She couldn't read me anyway.
I don't know if she just couldn't read her or what, but then she looks at me and she goes, "But you have a lot of spirits around you, but you got one that's just really coming forward." And I said, "Okay, what's his name?" And she says, "I'm not getting a name." And I said, "Well, you're not very good at this, are you?"
Oh, but you
joking
can't
around.
put somebody on the spot like that, though, because
I know.
once you put somebody on the spot, they're going to freeze up.
Well, I was just kind of joking around. Like I said, I just met her and everything. She says, "Well, that's because I'm not getting a name." And I said, "Well, that's weird." And she goes, "Yeah, but he's coming forward and saying, I don't know what this means, but he's saying he's really insistent." He goes, "He's saying he's your older brother, but you're the oldest. Okay, I'm the oldest. I got two younger brothers." And as soon as she said that, I knew what she was talking about. My mom had a miscarriage before me. And I thought, "Oh my God, how would you know that?" I mean, there's no way unless that's what she's seeing. And she goes, "That's why I didn't get a name." Well, he was never named.
Because your mom never knew if it was a boy or a girl or
Right.
like that.
But my mom said later, she goes, "Yeah, I always felt it was a boy."
And gave him a
But
name.
yeah. But that's why she didn't get a name. I thought, "Oh, okay." And after that, I thought, wow, she's really good.
Renee asks, statement first, I get certain smells that are familiar. Has that ever happened to you?
I mean, I get smells during readings. I get taste. Yeah. When I'm doing a reading, all bets are off. So smell, taste. I'll feel things in my body. There's been times where I've literally had to get up and go get sick in a reading.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel how they passed, or do they just make you feel something so that they can validate who they are?
Yeah. All of the above.
Okay. Yeah, that would.
Now, you feel it or do you see it?
I'll feel it in my body or smell things. Sometimes I can smell, this is going to sound weird, I can smell kidney cancer.
Ew.
I have another friend that
Mhm.
does medical readings, and she
Yeah.
says
Same thing. Yeah.
that she can either smell it, taste it, or see it through color. Like,
Well, yeah, because chakras will tell you everything. Right.
Yeah.
do you do mentorship?
I do. So I do classes about twice a year, group kind of stuff. And I just closed my studio. We just bought this house, and I had a studio in Wisconsin that I'm closing down and emptying out now. So I'm not doing as much in-person classes, but I'm definitely going to do Zoom groups and things like
I was
that.
going to ask you if you do virtual groups or
I
virtual
do.
individuals.
I do Zoom stuff. I'm going to do some recording where people can just download some classes too, that kind of thing.
And then if you do that, or will you be taking questions that they have, kind of like offline?
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll upload those classes where people can download them, and then we can have like Zoom groups where we can get together and things like that.
Kind of like a book club.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I don't take myself that seriously. Honestly, I feel like I have taught a lot of classes. There's been some people who have been really, really good. A handful of people. Those people have never wanted to pursue it. And then there's been some people who thought they were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And those were the people who tried to go great guns at it.
do you feel that there is a stigma to being a medium?
I think that no.
Okay.
How can I say this? I don't feel like there's a stigma. I think you better have balls of steel. Because again, it's like you're going to get some shit.
Yeah.
But if you're good, who cares?
Exactly.
Right.
I have.
If you're good at what you do, who cares if you get shit?
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
But
I don't ever worry about the getting the shit part.
No.
Again, I was the weird kid. There's nothing anybody's going to be able to do to me that's going to piss me off.
I've done 20,000 readings. I've been on freaking Sirius XM. I've been on every radio show around this area. Like, I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, give me shit. You know,
Nah.
Do
How
you
many
have-
mediums are in your area up there?
a lot.
That you?
She's near Chicago.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So
Okay.
let's go with shit ton.
Yeah.
I mean, so 20 years ago, there was a handful.
Right.
Now there's one on every corner.
Yeah.
I mean, social media has made it crazy. Social media has made it, and pandemic, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Pandemic mediums, all of a sudden everybody has a page that started in March of 2020. I mean, if you look on Facebook and see when people's pages have started, March
Yep.
of 2020 is like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. I don't care if that's how they get to be spiritual and they want to do it. I don't care. Again, there is no competition in this line of work. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do.
The
You
people
know.
are going to contact whoever they want.
Exactly.
You
And
know.
they're going to believe what they want to believe.
Exactly.
And cheesy mediums will run themselves out of business.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't take long. You know,
Right. I'm sure you've met the crazy ones.
We met a few.
You know, I don't talk about like the fifth dimension and the grid, and I don't try and out talk anybody because some of that shit is too crazy for me. I just talk about what I know about. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to talk to people about things that don't connect to them.
Right.
I'm going to talk to you about what connects to you. So people come up to me and they're like, well, the fifth dimension and this and that and the other thing. Okay, that's fine. You want to talk about all that stuff. Go talk to somebody else who wants to talk about that stuff. I'm going to talk to people about what they want to talk about, and that's their dead relatives. Right?
That's right.
So when you say you're a medium, are you a psychic as well?
Of course. Okay. That's how I started. So I didn't start as a medium.
Well, people, because some people will call themselves a psychic medium. Some people will call themselves a psychic. Some will just call themselves a medium. And some will say that they're an elemental medium. They'll say that they're...
Oh, God. Okay, so don't get me started on that shit.
Well...
So she said that. I was like, uh-oh.
But
yeah, I mean, first of all, labels are just a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
Okay, forensic mediums and elemental and all of that stuff. This is why I don't call myself anything special, because I wouldn't have called myself a medium if I couldn't get names. I wouldn't call myself a medium if I couldn't get real information. That's just being a medium. Right?
So what you're getting from us at this point in time, because of the things that you've said, is a high level of respect, because you are matching up with a lot of the things that I have talked about. I don't know how many times.
For years.
About real mediums, about people who are doing this because they want to help people. Not, you're making money because we have to make money. It's the way that it goes.
Oh, I was doing this for free until I couldn't do it for free because it was taking up all my time and away from my kids.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. You have to get to the point. When you get to that point, you've got to do something, because
you've got to start charging, or you can't make your own dinner.
Right, you have to eat.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you spend a lot of time doing it.
Right, you got to get to the point where. Yeah, and I still do a lot for free. Don't get me wrong. I still, if somebody can't afford it, somebody needs a discount, believe me, I still do a lot that I shouldn't probably do. But honestly, because I love the work. It is my favorite thing to do. It's my favorite thing in the world. I am blessed and lucky to do this every single day. I feel like I'm the luckiest person in the world. This is my lottery.
How many repeat clients do you have?
Dude, did you look at my Facebook?
No, I haven't looked at anything. I just found out you was going to be on the show.
I have almost 20,000 people on my Facebook business page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Carl just found out maybe a half hour before.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe 2 hours ago.
So I have 20,000 people who follow me. I haven't bought one single client. So some people go on Facebook and buy people. I don't.
I think that is the stupidest thing to do.
It's so illogical to me that a medium would do that. And I know people who've done it. And I do not understand why somebody would want to get caught doing that.
No, you can't.
I've been on Facebook since 2009. Each and every person that follows me is a real person. But I do know some people who have tried to go on those bots or whatever. I don't know. And you can look at the people who like their stuff and they're all from Nigeria or India or whatever. My people are not. They're not.
I can't. Well, I will tell you, the shows with my name on them, like this one, were big in India.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Japan.
We are.
So, but I don't have, on my Facebook page, if I have fake people on there, I don't know that they're fake, but I know that I never went out and bought followers. I think that is the stupidest thing to do.
Well, first of all, I use my page to sell my tickets. Thank you, Amy. I use my page to sell my tickets. So I need local and I need real followers. You screw up your algorithm, you can't sell your tickets. Like if I was going to go to Florida and try and sell tickets for a show, I can't have followers that I buy because you can't sell your tickets.
No, because that's true. It's, I mean, basically,
you're wasting your money.
Yeah. Why would you do that? So, yeah, if you want to have real followers, real as in like us,
real people
to see it, that's going to click on the link.
Right.
Bot doesn't click on the link. At least it's not supposed to. I mean, it does kind of mess.
Well, or they click on your link and waste your money.
Yeah.
Because bots will click your links and waste your money. So what happens is those bots are meant to interact with every post. So they're meant to interact and click your posts.
I create bots, but for different things, not for Facebook. Okay.
Well, they click your posts, and then what happens is that costs you money in the long run, but they don't buy tickets.
Earlier when you were talking about being a hairdresser, I don't remember if that was on the show or whatever at this point, but you said, washing somebody's hair, crown chakra, and that you would feel you're here, or, you would get what
I would feel their health issues.
I always noticed that my hairdresser, I had the same one for 15 years, that she would always get sick after seeing me. And I don't know if she was absorbing something out of me, or was it somebody that came the same day as me. I never asked her. There was this one woman that most of the time came the day before or the day after I was there, because we were on the same schedule. So we don't know if it was
like attracts like. So she probably had other people that were similar the same day as you, because it's just law of attraction. There were days I had 3 Michelles for whatever reason. Law of attraction. Or 3 people getting divorced all in the same day. It's the weirdest phenomenon.
Wow.
But that's just how things happen in that kind of business. And I'll tell you a story in a minute. Anyway, what happens is, yes, you want to go home and drink vodka. You're tired, you're sick, you've picked up energy all day long. You don't know how to ground. You just want to go home, and you don't know enough to ground yourself. You don't know, you end up picking up Burger King on the way home and a bottle of vodka. Like, you're just done. You're tired. And you don't take care of yourself. You're smoking your Salem Lights. You're tired. It's when I quit doing hair and I got healthy. Like, it's just a weird thing. It's when I started doing hair in my home and I had select clients that I felt better. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. As you get older, you start doing things differently. Yes, I go by Jonna K on Facebook, medium Jonna K. And eventually hairdressers stop doing hair because they don't know how to control it sometimes. It's a big burnout kind of thing.
We got a lot of new listeners popping in on the show today.
Mm-hmm.
Your website is mediumjonnak.com.
Yes.
Denise typing it in.
Yep. I just wanted to make sure that it gets out there on all the platforms.
Right.
So
Hey, puppy.
And
she's been a good girl.
Oh yeah. And so you said you do virtual readings as well. So
every day I do virtuals all over South Africa, Italy, everywhere.
And I'm not gonna ask the question how much you charge.
Oh,
that's on the website.
It's $75 for half an hour. I'm reasonable.
Okay.
And if we go over, I don't charge extra. So
unlike the minute readings on the phone.
No, I was 15 minutes over on the girl today, and I don't charge extra. So, yeah. Honestly, that's on me if we go over. So,
And Renee asks, you pick up on all their energies, both good and bad?
so honestly, I pick up on what I'm supposed to pick up on what my spirit guides, your spirit guides, on what your relatives, what I'm supposed to pick up on.
Have you
So-
ever had a time when you couldn't read someone?
I've had times where people have blocked me, where they've been assholes.
Did they mean to block you, or
Yeah. You know how when a woman brings her husband to the show because she's like, you have to go to the show with me,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
then he gets chosen, and he's on stage and he's being a dick because he's had too many brandy old fashions. Yeah, absolutely. I've had
because
things
he didn't want to be there. I mean, that's a
Right.
whole different ballgame. I don't think they're being a dick. They're just going, I didn't want to be here. Why didn't you pick my wife?
Right. I mean, I've had stuff like that happen. Absolutely. I mean, I did a small group the other day, and for some reason, the woman was angry because I wasn't picking up on who she wanted me to pick up on,
Oh,
but I was picking up on who was supposed to be picked up on. And she was like tapping her fingers and getting really irritated.
Oh, yeah.
But, sometimes you get who you're supposed to get. Like, you just got to be patient and let the information roll.
and Amy asks, how do you ground yourself?
Well, there's several different ways to ground yourself. I have a couple different methods that I use. The root chakra. I have, before a reading, I definitely have some physical ways I ground myself. But there's a couple different ways I do it. I ground everybody in the room as I start a reading and make sure we're all grounded when we start. Even the dog, I ground when we start. I know. Earlier, I had a couple people here, and I was doing a reading, and I had to ground the dog twice because she was trying to get wild, and even the dog needed to be grounded. Mm-hmm.
Is there? Oh crap! Now my brain is on. Do you read animals?
Not intentionally.
Okay.
No, I'm not an animal reader. Every once in a while, something will come up, but I'm not an intentional dog reader. Don't get excited. Don't come to me with your dog shit. I'm not doing it. Sorry. I just don't want. It's not my specialty.
Yeah.
Right.
I know people that animals are their specialty.
I know. I'm not one of them.
Good.
So, right. I know where my strength is, and that's not it.
Dogs aren't paying.
Well, it's not that. It's not my wheelhouse.
Right.
Every once in a while, I'm good with that, but it's not where my strength is, and I know what I'm good at and what I'm not.
Right. Now, do you do past life readings?
No, and I don't believe in past life readings. I believe in past life sessions where you can be hypnotized and you do the work, but I don't believe in past life readings.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't believe that I don't believe in Akashic records either. I know that sounds wrong.
No, it doesn't.
I believe you can tap into your own Akashic records. I don't believe you can tap into someone else's.
I just believe that you are just a very honest person, and you are entitled to your opinion on those. And I don't know what I believe when it comes to past lives.
Well, you can't prove it or disprove it. So
no.
Right. And I only believe, so here's the thing is when I do readings, I can validate what I do, but I can't validate a past life.
Right.
So I don't want to do past life readings because I can't validate it, but I can validate your loved one's stuff. I can validate names. I can validate how they passed, but I can't validate past life shit.
No.
And I can't validate Akashic records.
So now we're back to one of my favorite topics, data. You don't have the data to validate the information that somebody's asking you to either validate or invalidate, and you can't do it either way. So you're better off on.
I ain't touching it with a 10-foot pole.
So we have another question from Renee. And Renee, you have been so helpful with all your questions. She asked, do you do REM therapy?
Mm-mm.
And Muhammad, there's nothing wrong with past life. It's just not something that.
No, I love past life. I read about past lives. I do past life sessions. I have a friend who does past life hypnotherapy. I believe in it. I just can't validate.
Right.
I can't.
Yeah, you can't validate somebody was a pirate
as a slave in a past life. I can't prove that.
No, but what you can prove is that there were slaves, and the rest of it, we can't say if we were one or not.
Right.
So I'm not going to put that out there and give my name to that without being able to validate it.
I have a friend that does past life readings, and he had spent one night doing a Facebook Live, and he goes, "Can you call?" And I said, "Sure." So I get on there, and he goes, "In your past life, you were a nurse in the Great Fire in San Francisco." And I looked at my husband, and I go, "First off, I'm not real big on fire, and I'm definitely not a nurse. I can't, I have zero patience. Why would I want to deal with patients if I have zero patience?
Yeah, you don't like blood.
And I don't like blood. I got nothing to do with this stuff." And it's like,
didn't make much sense.
And so,
but
again,
who knows?
He's telling me.
And I think that past life readings are just like, it could be fun. Anybody can sit here and make up stories and be like, it takes a lot of imagination.
I mean,
my opinion is that it was hokey. Because I could not, there was no way that
it always feels hokey. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. If you can't give me a name of who I was back then so I can research it, it's useless to me. And do I find it
validation?
I find it interesting. But again, validation and data. Without that, I need that. Yes, I may be a paranormal investigator. I might be a medium. But I'm still Denise in data. I need the data to validate the information.
And I can't put my name to something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there probably is something to the past lives, because I know the first time I went to Texas, I just felt at home there. I'd never been there before.
Oh, but I'm not saying there's not. The minute I got
know
the A1A in Florida,
it was just weird because I feel at home here. I feel like I've been here before, and I couldn't explain that.
No, I agree. I feel like I lived in Miami in the 1950s. Yeah. And when I get on the A1A in Florida, I feel like I know exactly what I'm going to see next. Every single time. Yeah. I feel like I have gone on that road a million times.
It's weird.
Yes. I mean, I totally get that. The smells, the feels, everything about it, I totally agree. But I am not going to put my name to something I can't.
Right.
I just feel like I'm not going to sit there and do let's do past life readings. I just don't feel good about something like that.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, there's like some things that I know that there's no way I should know some of these things that I do know.
Right. Now there's times
I don't know how I do.
I'll be like, let's pull cards on Facebook Live. I'm like, let's pull cards. Now I'm just pulling cards. I'm not telling you that this is true. I'm not telling, I'm like, I'll pull a card for you. Now I'm just pulling cards. Right. That's all I'm doing. Like, it's oracle cards. It's just having fun. So I'm letting people know I'm just pulling cards. especially when I'm doing TikTok. Those people are
Yeah.
crazy on TikTok. They
Oh, yeah.
just want, oh my God, they're insane. But I'm just telling them I'm pulling a card. I'm not giving them any kind of magic whatsoever. They're just getting a
Right.
card.
I know. It's a lot of people, they see things and they go, oh, that's real. That's real.
Right. It's
No,
like a
she's
crazy
just
8 ball
pulling
at that
cards,
point. Like
folks.
they're just getting a card, and that I'm not trying to put my name to anything magical at that point.
Tom,
Pull a card for me. So honestly, like I'm
Hi,
really
Tom.
honest about it when I'm
Hey,
on
Tom.
there and I'm like, I'm pulling cards for you. I'm just pulling cards. Like, here's this card for you or whatever. But because, especially on TikTok, you end up with so many people watching you and so many people trying to get your attention. You don't have time to be doing real readings. You better just be pulling those cards damn quick.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And it's all for fun. It's just for fun. It's just to give them a little taste of who you are and let them see who you are.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Tom's here.
Hey, Tom.
Tom's up the road. He's up in is a good friend of ours in Chicago.
Yeah, he's up in the Chicago area.
So,
Yeah.
Awesome.
do you ever recommend tarot cards to people? An oracle deck versus an angel deck, or is it just, hey, whatever one floats your boat is the one you get?
Well, I teach tarot. I can teach tarot, and I probably have 50 or 60 different oracle decks. So
I have
is
this
it the
one.
power deck, the angel power deck?
Somebody gave that to her, I think.
Yeah, the Archangel Power Tarot cards.
Yeah, that's what I just said, the angel power deck.
Yeah.
I pretty much know them by sight.
As you can see, I've never even opened it.
I mean, so here's what I like about oracles. Pull one a day, set your intention. Pull it in the morning, set your intention of your energy for the day.
So which card should I pull if I want to have unlimited energy to get my damn work done for the job that I hate now?
Here, I'll find it.
Ground yourself first and then pull an oracle card for the day.
It's probably this one here, the Leap of Faith card.
Tom wants a quick pull.
Quick pull.
See, I'm not on the massage table right
Oh.
Tom, go back to
now.
work.
I am joking.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a bad joke, wasn't
Okay,
it?
here's a card for Tom. It's called The World.
So that is actually a tarot card, and the world
Mike.
is
Hey, Mike.
that means unlimited support. That's a really good card, unlimited support.
I do have to say this. You said table. This on it says a very happy ending, Tom.
Wow.
Well, he did want a quick pull.
Oh.
And I just
Just
pulled it out of the
randomly
middle.
pulled it. And there's
Yep.
how many cards? This look like quite a few.
Yeah, they're always the same.
Muhammad wants to
cards?
know, don't anyone
78,
think
that's
about
a
their
lot.
past not being nasty? I'm really interested.
I don't understand what that means.
I think what he's trying to ask is, anybody think their past life, they were real mean, nasty, evil, whatever people in it?
Well,
So
we
there's
don't know
always a
because-
chance you might have been a child molester or a rapist.
Exactly. You don't know, and there's no way to prove it.
mhm.
Right. There's always a chance you could have been anything like that. Like, don't go digging if you don't want to know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Leave the closets in.
You could have been
skeletons in the
abused your
closet
children.
there, and
Right.
let
You
them be
could have
alone.
neglected your own children. Like, do you want to know?
So how hard is it to memorize all 78 cards?
You don't memorize them.
How do you because I know this book says
So
congratulations.
you need to learn the Fool's Journey to understand the major arcana.
Okay.
And then the rest is all numerology.
Okay. So this card would be 21.
Right. That's getting close to the end of the Fool's Journey where you're more supported. You have what you're supposed to have at the end of the Fool's Journey. Go on YouTube and watch the Fool's Journey.
Okay.
Otherwise, there's 4 suits. Each suit has a different meaning. So an ace is an ace no matter what. A 2 is a 2 no matter what. But the suits have different meanings.
Okay.
So I can teach tarot in 2 hours.
Okay, because
So you started off with the tarot cards?
Mm-hmm. In the 80s.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Back when it wasn't cool.
yeah.
I don't even think I'd heard of them back then.
Oh, I
Well,
heard
maybe
of
I
them,
did.
and that wasn't.
No,
It
you didn't
wasn't-
hear about hardly any paranormal
No.
or
No, it
any
was
of that
too
stuff. Tarot card
conservative back
readers.
then. Like it was
If you heard
really,
about tarot
really
card
conservative.
readings, you was down in New Orleans.
No, you were in the right part of town at the right time to hear, because it's no different than reading tea leaves.
Well, I have tea leaf cards too.
Oh,
Okay.
well, there was a Russian tea room in downtown Baltimore where they did tea leaf readings. And apparently the Russian tea leaf readings are totally different than the Chinese and Japanese.
Right.
And they have totally different meanings. And in this one part of Baltimore, there was multiple places like this. And my grandmother took me to the Russian tea room. And it was in the back room that you had to go to get the tea leaf readings because, again, it was very conservative. But if you knew the right people, you knew where to go to get that kind of stuff. My grandmother went to see a medium back when I was young adult at the time. And she told me that the medium told her that I was going to have twins. Okay. I did not have twins, but I got a Gemini.
Oh,
So I got twins.
you had a twin.
Yes. It's either that or she is my twin because I'm a Gemini. And she was born just 4 days before my birthday. Maybe she was my twin. Or
Okay, be careful, Muhammad.
or she's
Yeah, see you
or
later,
she just
Muhammad.
because she's a Gemini and it reads in as a twin. You know, so I just thought that was kind of weird because there are no twins in my family on either side. So it's a miracle.
James says too many people think they were a victim in past life. Lots of victims. So this is interesting to me because victims in past lives, usually people who are victims end up being more old souls. And if you're a victim in life after life after life, you end up being more of an old soul. And what's weird in that is like people will come up to me and be like, oh, I do this and I do that. And I'm really into this stuff and I'm an old soul. And because like what James is saying about victims is those are your old souls, are people who have had like horrible things happen to them over and over and over again are your old souls who are not in control, who have no ego, who just keep having this horrible shit happen to them. I have a friend whose daughter has cerebral palsy, who doesn't speak, can't walk. She has no control of her life, probably on her last lifetime. Like super old soul. Has no ego whatsoever to run her life.
I would wonder if a person could turn that around. You know, there's a book out called it's an old book. When bad things happen to good people. It tells you how to turn some things around. Why would
that's just being in control of your own life,
right?
But I'm talking about your soul,
right? How come our soul doesn't let us get out of being a victim without becoming a narcissist.
I mean, I'm just talking about your soul's journey here. You choose what you're supposed to go through to be on a level spiritually. So it has nothing to do with whether you're a good person or not.
Right.
It has to do with what you checked off spiritually on the other side, what you choose to deal with when you come here. You're not going to turn that around. You made that choice before you came here.
Do we even have the power over changing type of soul? This is from James.
I mean, so our soul made choices before we came here. So we literally wrote our book before we came here.
And so do you...
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Do you think that the people that are getting past life readings are trying to change that chapter in their life?
I think that we can improve our karma to rise a little higher for our next lifetime. Absolutely.
Right.
But I don't know that we're going to change what we've written for this lifetime.
Okay. I like the answer that you just gave.
Right.
That said, I don't know. Because, again, that's you, again, being honest.
Right.
That's why I said you've got our respect, because you're being more than honest on everything that we've asked you.
Well, I don't like being a know-it-all.
I do.
I like
yeah, she has to be.
No, I don't have to be, but I'd like to know it all. But
nobody likes that, though.
I don't think I really want to know it all. I think I want to know a lot of good stuff. You know, I don't think I want to know the bad stuff. The bad stuff, again, makes it dark. And I don't want to know the bad stuff. I want to go back to the 70s where we didn't have instant news on everything telling us all the bad things that is happening out in the world.
Right.
We only absorb, how can I say this? So through all of everything that we've learned in the last 20 years of our lives, through all our friends liking one thing and us liking another and believing in what we think we believe in and what they think they believe in, okay? And what they've absorbed and what we've absorbed and how we were raised and how they were raised, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. And it's all in how our brains think we're programmed. And we're all just fucking human in the end. And we just all need to let it all go and know that spiritual has nothing to do with the news and the media and nothing like that. If we want to be spiritual, we have to ignore all that.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I have another really important question for you. How long do you want to do this show? Do you want to do it for another half an hour, or are you ready to take a break?
My husband's going to be home soon, and I haven't had I had a protein coffee today and some diet candy.
Oh, so that you've had nothing.
Yeah.
Basically had air.
Right.
Yeah, I had some Russell Stover's sugar-free candy and a protein coffee.
Yeah, that's not much. So
yeah, that's pretty much my day.
I had a protein shake.
I'm really into these protein coffees that are so good. You take a regular protein shake, and then you just make instant coffee, a little bit of super strong instant coffee, and mix it with your protein shake and do it on ice. and it's just amazing. But it's super strong instant coffee. And mix it with your protein shake. It is like the most amazing thing. Mm-hmm. Like you get everything that you need.
Well, can you tell everybody where they can find you?
Medium Jonna K on everything. TikTok.
Can you tell everybody where they can find you?
Go ahead.
What's that?
Did I put that up?
Yes.
Yes, Tom. Oh, Tom.
Oh,
That's
so
our
my
buddy,
husband
Tom.
can give me a pull? Are you kidding? He's going to make me pull him. So, no.
So does that then become work, or is that pleasure? I mean, it kind of goes, but that's a whole different thing.
I'm 58. I'm tired. I'd rather give him a pull and go to sleep. So anyway. We're not like, I can say anything on here, right? It's StreamYard, right?
It's Bill of Rights Network. You have freedom of speech here.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I told you guys, I say anything. So anyway, mediumjonnak.com, Medium Jonna K on Facebook, Medium Jonna K on TikTok. I think I'm Jonna K on Instagram. But I barely use Instagram. Like, it's those. I don't use Snapchat except for the filters that make it look younger.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't use Snapchat either. So
no, the filters are good. Use you can put a filter on, take a picture, download it, and then use it for something else.
So is there anything in there that pushes my boobs up?
Just take the picture from up here. Your boobs will look great. Yeah, your boobs look like all like this. If you take the picture from up here.
Take your picture like that.
Take my picture.
Yeah, if you take the picture from up here, your boobs look all perky and
your neck.
You have no chin, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Right. I mean, I've lost 80 pounds in 2 years, so I've learned how to take a picture.
Good for you.
Thank you. But yeah,
good, Denise.
That's why I drink protein coffee. I try and get 100 grams of protein a day. So yeah, the protein coffee is important. Like. That's my new thing. He says, Denise, stand on your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's Tom.
Anytime you want me to come on and talk, I'll come on and talk with you. I don't care.
Okay.
If you want me to come on and do readings sometime, I'll come on and do
we'd like that.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
It'd be fun.
So we'll work on that after October because I know that this is your busy season. So we'll make sure that we get that going and let us know the next time you're coming to this part of Florida.
I will. It'll probably be closer to cold season. My son's been really busy right now. So there's things going on with him. And I'm just letting him figure all that out. And,
And if you ever get down to the Kansas City area, contact me. And everything.
Where you're in Missouri, you said?
Missouri. I'm 50
I haven't
miles
been to
north
Missouri in
of
over
Kansas City.
20 years. It's been a long time. So, but I do like to travel and get around. I'm looking for a little bean trailer right now to pull behind my car.
Mm-hmm. They look fun.
I just think it'd be better than staying in hotels.
The teardrop, the tear top.
Yeah, they call them beans, little beans.
Well, we call them teardrops. They look like a
teardrop.
Yep.
I don't know.
They've got some real nice ones out there. I mean, they really.
I just need a place for me and the little baby to sleep when I take her with me. So, yeah, because she goes with me. And, Precious back there that you saw.
So. Well, thank you so much for coming on. You can look forward to us contacting you again in the future, I promise.
Oh, yeah.
And, this was fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy your meal and your husband.
Like I said, I think I'm making Aldi coconut shrimp. I don't know what the hell I'm doing unless he brings something home to surprise me.
Well, it's
your birthday.
So, and if you come here, shrimp basket.
Oh my God, I love to eat. I love alligator bites down there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I love to eat some gator in Florida.
Yeah,
Mhm.
my daughter just went to some restaurant down near the airport, and Ron goes, "Well, was it any good?" And she said, "Yeah, but they didn't have the best rice and beans." And he goes, "I don't think I can get past the shrimp basket without your mom saying we were eating here." So
Yeah, when I go to Florida, I like to eat gator. It's like eating cheese curds here.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
there's a little store here in Milton. We live in Milton, and Rollo's Seafood Market has gator bites. So I'm
You
gonna
live
have
in Milton. This is so weird. I just looked up how far Milton, Florida is from Foley, Alabama.
Yeah, it's about 45 minutes to an hour.
Earlier this morning, for some reason, there was something in Milton, Florida, and I swear to God, I looked up how far that was from Foley.
That's where we are. We're in Milton.
That is
Where they
bizarre.
moved to.
Yep.
That is so
maybe an
bizarre.
hour at the most.
So, but we will catch up, I promise. So
I can't
Right.
wait.
enjoy
You
your
let me know.
birthday.
We'll book another time to be on and talk
Oh
again.
yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Sarah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Nice meeting you.
You too.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
All right. Good
Bye
night.
bye. But everybody can tune in to the Paranormal Nation Radio on Tuesday nights here. Tomorrow night is the Verbal Hangover with Tammy Lee. Check out the Billerites Network for all the shows. And Denise's show next Monday. Who do you have on?
I have Katie and Katie Stafford. They're going to come on, the paranormal mad scientist and his wife. And God knows what's going to happen. Me and
See
Katie
what
get
kind of
together.
new equipment they got, because they're starting to make some new ones from what I heard.
Yeah,
And everything.
When Katie and I get together, it becomes a data fest. Not a date fest, but a data fest, where we start sharing, what we've researched lately or what we've learned. And so it's always a great, great show.
Carl owns some of his equipment. We've experienced his equipment. We've been on an investigation with him, and listen, it's really good.
I know he's not making any more of the nanocoms,
right,
and everything. And we said he's getting into some other type of equipment coming up. So it'll be an interesting show.
I wore the helmet and experienced some unusual stuff with that. And they were terrified to let me use it because of my heart condition. And I was like, I'm fine. I was more concerned about getting a migraine than I was anything.
I'm waiting for somebody to put that on that has had epilepsy in their life because of the flashing light.
They would just probably have to keep their eyes closed.
Yeah.
Because you can't really see it when your eyes are closed, because it's more on the outside of the helmet, not really on the inside. So it's easy enough to keep your eyes closed.
But you still see some lights flashing.
Yeah. It's kind of like
it's just different.
Being pulled over by a cop is not as bright.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's.
Who was it that tried it before you?
I was the first one.
No, I mean, there was somebody else there that did it.
No, Lisa did it after me.
Was that Lisa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was some other.
Olathe.
Yeah.
And the other person that
some other woman
was
she got some weird readings or weird. She said she's seen a lot of weird things.
That was
and
Lisa.
if anybody doesn't know this helmet that they're talking about, you can see it. He used it down there in down south when they made that show.
Yeah, Jeremy Leonard wore it when they were doing Ghosts of Morgan City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So you can check out on that show there and know what we're talking about when we talk about the ghost helmet.
And when we're talking about Katie Stafford, he was on last year's show, Ghosts of
Devil's Perch.
Devil's Perch, which was Butte, Montana.
Right.
So check that out. And if you have any questions, let us know. And if you have anything in advance, because you're not going to make the show and you want me to ask it, let me know and I'll get that. And then the following week, I have Keith Ottersberg, who's going to be on. And he's going to be following up on some stuff that we were told by Cheryl Ann
Cheryl.
Elliott Fletcher last week. So
Right.
it'll be
That's going to be a good show, and this is about the only place you'll hear it from too, and everything. Charlene broke that night on here and stuff, and some other information coming up next month that she's got going on. So you'll have to stay tuned there in 2 weeks on that show.
Yep, because she's released some of the information to me, and with the agreement that I only share it when she tells me I can.
Right. Right. So anyway, we want to thank everybody in the chat room for joining us tonight, especially the new people that joined in. Thank you. Always come back to the Billerites Network and all these paranormal shows and our other shows that we have out there. And everybody that's been watching off and on over on Rumble, we want to thank them for joining us tonight. And thank everybody from Temple of Phoenix Rising Entertainment Facebook page and Things Network Facebook page. And we had a lot of people watching from Japan Paranormal earlier. So we always want to thank those where we're live at. Yeah, Tom, hopefully we can get together soon sometime.
Yeah, Tom, we missed you. You know how busy you've been. And like I said, we do miss you.
Yeah, right. We did move further away.
Right. So we will see you next week here on Paranormal Nation Radio. Not so normal, as we call it here. So everybody have a good evening, and we'll see you next week.
Good night.